My daughter ripped up the couches in the house to be able to be with me right now. Y'all don't know what's going on.
It's just the thing that celebrity parents do or white parents do. But at the age of 12, I was still trying to figure out how lip gloss work and how my sports bra fixed on me.
It gets just like a little intense. I want to be more strict like Chloe, but I don't know why I have a hard time just saying no is no. I think I also don't want to deal with the whining and the tears.
Y'all, North West is once again in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. And Kanye is out here screaming at Kim that she's not fit to be a parent. So Kim let North get a dermal piercing on her hand. And once pictures hit the internet, people started arguing about whether a 12-year-old should even have something like that. Now, you know Kanye has a history of calling Kim out for letting North do things he says he never agreed to. TikTok, makeup, grown-up clothes, and every time he tried to step in, he claimed the Kardashians shut him down and used their PR machine to paint him as unstable and controlling. But now that almost everyone agrees that Kim completely lost control of North, does this mean Kanye was right all along? So let's talk about what happened with the piercing, how Kanye reacted, and why he says he's genuinely worried about the way North is being raised under the Kardashians' influence.
You already made everybody think I'm crazy. You already took my family away. You already separated all my friends. I don't got no celebrity friends. Because when I was on TV, on Instagram saying, I don't know where my child is, and the Kardashians kidnapped my daughter in public.
All right, so North West recently showed off what appears to be a dermal piercing on her middle finger. And multiple sources later confirmed she actually has two piercings, 2 silver studs on one finger, plus a blue gem on the other middle finger. Now, just a quick note on dermal piercings. They work differently than regular piercings. They have an anchor beneath the skin with only the stud visible on the surface and no separate entry or exit point. And experts say having these piercings on your hand is very risky because your hands are constantly moving and touching things. So there's a higher chance of getting the piercing caught in something, irritation, or infection. And some fans even pointed out a red swollen bump around one of North's piercings, which could indicate early signs of rejection or irritation. Now keep in mind that most professional piercing shops will refuse to do surface or dermal piercings on minors because they're harder to heal. But there are obviously different rules for rich people. And it looks like Kim's parenting style is just letting North do whatever she wants. And Kim actually defended North's piercing, saying her daughter has a unique sense of style and that she supports her self-expression.
She has like a really unique style. She puts me onto so many brands. Like, she just loves what she loves. Like, and it's just really fun to see someone be so creative and also know herself so much.
She seems that way.
Now here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with Kim letting North experiment and express herself. But Kim herself previously admitted that she has no authority over her kids. And she lets them do whatever because she doesn't want to deal with their tantrums.
Yesterday, one of my kids was really upset about something with their phone. And I was like, you know what, then you just don't get it. And it was tears the entire way to school. And I'd say, okay, fine, here, have your phone. Just stop crying.
I want to be more strict like Chloe, but I don't know why I have a hard time just saying no is no. I think I also don't want to deal with the whining and the tears of not getting their way.
I'm open to anything at this point because I can't live like this. Like, I had it because I ran out of my patience, and that's what my superpower was, calm and patient.
They know when to con me and when to throw the little, start with the tears so that I'm like, stop, sure, take your iPad, just stop.
Now, as for Kanye, he's been complaining about how Kim's raising North since the divorce, and this piercing just added fuel to the fire. One insider told Globe that Kanye believes North is way too young to be parading around like this, and warned Kim that it needs to stop or he'll raise hell with the lawyers. The insider added he's ranting and raving about this, saying Kim's crossed the line and he's not going to stand for it. But the source also added that Kanye is frustrated because he knows that realistically, lawyers can't help him at this point because he's already been labeled as crazy and controlling. And the Kardashians love to play into that narrative whenever Kanye complains about Kim's parenting. Remember when Kanye blasted Kim for letting North be on TikTok when she was just 8? He even threw some shade at Kim, saying, since this is my first divorce, I need to know what I should do about my daughter being put on TikTok against my will. Well, this clearly hit a nerve with Kim because she immediately fired back, saying Kanye is doing doing way more damage to North by criticizing her mother in public. Kim wrote, Kanye's constant attacks on me in interviews and on social media is actually more harmful than any TikTok North might create. Divorce is difficult enough on our children, and Kanye's obsession with trying to control and manipulate our situation so negatively and publicly is only causing further pain for all. But Kanye later claimed that the Kardashians used their influence and connections in the industry to completely shut him out and keep him away from his kids even before the divorce was finalized.
Jamie Lee Curtis went on TV and said, I hope they take his children away from him. Wow. I hope they take his children away from him.
Also, remember when Kim let her boyfriend Pete Davidson tattoo her kids' initials on his neck? I think we got past that way too quickly, because why would she do something like that? Unless she was using her kids to push Kanye over the edge. And that wasn't all. Around this time, TMZ released an exclusive video of Pete cruising around a gated community in a pink golf cart with North sitting on his lap. Now keep in mind, TMZ founder Harvey Levine is Kris Jenner's old friend. So anything you see published about the Kardashians on TMZ, you can be sure they approved of it. So that video of Pete and North didn't just leak. TMZ was clearly allowed inside Kim's gated community, and they probably released that video just to piss Kanye off. Now, speaking of Kris Jenner, Kanye also previously said that he doesn't even want his kids to be around her or her boyfriend, Corey Gamble. Back in the summer of 2020, Kanye escaped to his Wyoming ranch and later claimed that Kim and Kris were trying to have him put on a 5150 psychiatric hold. And that's when he hopped online to call out Kris and Corey, saying, Kris, don't play with me. You and that Kanye are not allowed around my children. Y'all tried to lock me up. Kanye also blasted Kris for exploiting her daughter and wrote, I put my life on God that North's mom would never photograph her doing Playboy, and that's on God. I put my life on the line for my children that North's mother would never sell her tape. But that's when Kim stepped in and texted Kanye, saying he needs to stop calling out Kris because she's almost 70 and his comments were upsetting her. But Kanye quickly clapped back, saying, y'all don't have say-so over my black children and where they go to school. They will not do Playboy and tapes. But it seems like Kanye was powerless against the Kardashian machine, and he later shared another Instagram post saying there was nothing he could do because he was, quote, dealing with wars at the highest levels of control and discrimination, end quote. Now, say what you want about Kanye, but when it comes to North, it really seems they have a special bond, and North is way nicer to him than to Kim. And honestly, the only time you see Kanye genuinely light up is when he talks about his kids.
There's times where North want to design a dress made out of bubble wrap in the morning, and I become her assistant designer for 20 minutes, and she be screaming at me, you didn't hold the plastic right, you never gonna sell no clothes like this. This a 5-year-old talking about I'm never gonna say, you not no good designer. I'm like, damn, you worse than the internet, North. Come on now, somebody gonna buy these brown sweatshirts, come on. But so having kids really put you, you know what I'm saying? Because I can go and be the boss and be talking and having all these, you know, Trump level bold quotes and stuff to my team and stuff. But it humbles you because I work for my daughter. I work for my kids. And it's nothing, I can't talk them out of the way they feel because they haven't been programmed yet.
Also, let's remember that Kim previously admitted that every time North comes back from visiting Kanye, she throws a tantrum, demanding that she move in with him because apparently he lives a simpler life without nannies and chefs.
She'll go to her dad's. She'll be like, Dad is the best. And she'll start crying. Why don't you have an apartment? I can't believe we don't have an apartment. We make our own food. That's amazing that you make ramen, you know, like great, you know,
That you boil water and pour it onto some noodles.
But notice how Kim and Kourtney completely missed the point with that snarky ramen comment. Kids don't care about having a fancy meal. They want to feel like their parents are present and actually enjoy spending time with them. Also, why is Kim publicly talking about her child's feeding just to get ratings? Didn't she previously criticize Kanye for airing out their issues in public? So now seeing how North looks and acts at just 12 years old, it doesn't feel like this is just a kid expressing herself. In fact, some fans are speculating that North is acting out because she doesn't have a close bond with Kim and probably feels out of place surrounded by Kar Jenner women. Now, of course, there are also a lot of people defending Kim and saying there's nothing wrong with her giving North the freedom to experiment with friends. Well, let me know what you think. Is that piercing too much for a 12-year-old? Was Kanye right about Kim and Kris exploiting his daughter? Drop your comments below, and I'll catch you in this next video.